So about this change in society, which kind of methods would you think would be appropriate to use to come about this change? Do you believe in mass organization, or do you believe more on the individual basis? What is the role of the masses in this?
I think you always need some type of rallying point, whether that's a figure or something. But they can't have all the power. The power's got to be diffused within the whole organization. I'm definitely not a fan of violence, because I've seen revolution through violence and it never works. Because there's always somebody who has a bigger tank or a bigger gun or a bigger bomb than the people. They can't kill everybody, but at the same time, there's always some guy who's willing to use that violence more than the population is willing to. So I'm not a fan of violent revolution, but I do believe that if you get enough people organized who are going in a similar direction, you can really have true change. But it comes from one guy having an idea and talking to his friends, and then that idea expanding to a large group of people.
Okay. So maybe one last question about the capitalist crisis we were talking about before. How does it have an influence on you as a band? Do you feel, as musicians, as artists, do you feel the effects of the capitalist crisis in one way or another?
Well, we definitely do. I think everybody does. Just the fact that there's less kids that can come out to a show because they have less money to come out. The fact that the fuel prices, because of all these things, are up higher than they had been in the past. One could argue that they're probably still too low. But as a guy who makes a living by traveling around talking to people and playing music, fuel prices and travel of getting from place to place have a big impact on us. But I think the most important, or the thing where it impacts us the most, is the fact that a young person has to think, well, I can go to the rock show, or I can buy gas for my car, or I may not have a job next month because everybody at my company is getting downsized or whatever. The jobs aren't happening, or the jobs aren't as secure. So maybe I shouldn't go to a show because I don't know whether I need that money next month because I don't know whether I'll have a job or not. It's less of an issue in Europe because your unions are a little bit stronger than ours in the States. But in the States, it's a big concern where people don't know whether they're going to have a job the next month or not. So, that has an impact. As far for me personally, a lot of my friends have lost their jobs and lost work. So that's been an impact. But at this point, luckily, we've been able to continue to come out and play shows, even though there's less people. We're still able to do it and be able to be successful at it. Okay. We're lucky that way. Knock on shit.
Yeah. Okay, and when you come out and play shows, obviously you're trying to bring across some sort of message. That's pretty obvious.
For sure.
And how do you think this really affects young people all over the world? And what do you think the results of this, of having politics in your songs, in your music? What do you think the real results of this, or what are you hoping the results are going to be?
I don't know what the results are going to be, but I do know, I can't speak for the future, but I can speak of the past. And I was influenced by people who brought politics and music together. And all the activists who I know are inspired by music and politics. And when they get up in the morning, they put on a record and they're like, okay, this is a shitty battle. We're going to lose all the time because the left always loses. But we're going to go out, we're going to continue to do the work that needs to be done because we believe in it. And that type of thing has an effect on a lot of people. It had an effect on me. So I'm hoping that what we do, hopefully, will get somebody out of bed in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to keep fighting because I believe that, that economic justice is something that we need to have, and that racial equality is something we need to have, freedom is something that we need to have. So I'm going to continue to work towards that. So that happened with me, listening to music and getting a lot of social political messages through music. Hopefully what we do and what a lot of other bands do will be able to inspire people to
very grateful that we had the opportunity to do this. And we're also going to publish this on our website, so all our members and our fans, and people who follow our work can view it. So I wonder if maybe you have one last message you want to bring across to everyone.
The one last message is keep fighting. It's a long and bitter battle, but I'll be there, and hopefully you'll be there as well.